Good to go? Good morning all. As of this morning, 35.81% of Queenslanders are fully vaccinated and 54.28% have had their first dose. And again, we say to people, go and get vaccinated. It's absolutely vital that we find a way to regain pace, and if you believe in the freedoms that we need as a state and as a nation, please go and get vaccinated. We're here today to discuss a health matter of another kind, and that is the impacts of the Queensland health crisis on everyday Queenslanders. And today you're going to hear from a room full of brave victims and whistleblowers who are speaking out to effect change. And we need change. And Ros and I have run a series of these crisis hall meetings across the state, and we've highlighted the growing waiting lists, we've highlighted the ambulance ramping that is out of control, and here at Caboolture it's at 40%. That means 4 in 10 ambulances are waiting longer than the clinically recommended time. These are brave paramedics who just want to do their job and they're not able to. And we want to make sure that there's a system that can support them in supporting patients. But in Caboolture there is another complication, and that is what we have seen on the floor of Parliament following brave people telling their stories. And that is allegations of botched surgery, allegations of doctors performing surgery they're not qualified for, and victims who are caught in the crossfire. And let's just chart a course of what we've seen in the last week. Started again with the first reaction of this government always is to never believe the patient. It's always someone else's fault. It's always someone else making up a story. We were mocked. Ros continued to ask questions day in, day out. Then there was a phone line set up. Then there was almost as though the government was celebrating that it hadn't received many phone calls to that. And now we're looking at a full-blown inquiry. Change only happens when people are willing to speak up and be counted. And today you have a room full of brave victims and whistleblowers telling their story. The Queensland health crisis is affecting everyday Queenslanders every day, and we owe it to them to take up their fight. And finally, before I hand back to Ros, I might make some comments. I've been asked to make some comments about the young boy Rocker and the situation that we see where a very sick young child is caught up in the Queensland Health Exemptions Unit. I'm not sure how much more worthy you can have than a terminally ill little boy. But I just urge the Queensland Exemptions Unit to do its job. And there is a way that you can show compassion and still keep the community safe. And if we go into it like that, well, we can stop this situation where young kids just can't come home to the state where they belong. Over to you, Ros.
Queensland health is in crisis. The Queensland government is losing control of the health system in Queensland. How did we get here to Caboolture? The reason we're here is because the media raised concerns from whistleblower patients and doctors and nurses last Monday. On Tuesday, the government laughed at us and basically said that patients were not telling the truth about what was going on at Caboolture. On Wednesday, we had a helpline set up, and then on Thursday we have a full-blown inquiry. We are here today to listen to the stories of victims of Queensland health crisis, of the real brave people who have come forward today, already spoken to the opposition, and to those whistleblower nurses and doctors who want to see a better system here in Queensland. Queensland health is in crisis under this government, and only the LNP have plans to fix that.
We just want people to tell their stories, and through it we want to affect change. And we've run these across the state, and from all of them we've had little wins. We've had patients who have been on waiting lists for many months have their surgery. We've had patients who have had surgeries cancelled half a dozen times, miraculously finally get them. And they're great wins, and they mean something. What I really want to see is the system repaired. And in the case here of Caboolture, it might be that the failings run a little deeper than just a system under stress. And I say really clearly, the people who work in the system are stretched, and they are the ones coming to us wanting change. And we're on their side. And the patients, they all dip their hat to the nurses and the doctors and the people who are trying to effect change through a broken system. And we need to restore the culture in Queensland Health where decisions are made at the coalface, where doctors and nurses are put in charge. Because they're the ones who can tell you if somebody's operating outside of their remit or not. They're the ones who tell you where the resources need to be. We want data shared in real time. That's the cultural change that we need to get in Queensland Health.
And with the stories from today, what will happen after hearing them?
We're going to take them to the floor of Parliament, and these people are owed that. They haven't been listened to. They haven't been believed. They are brave, and they are whistleblowers, and they are patients, and they deserve our respect. And through their crisis, through their stories of crisis, we intend to fix the Queensland health crisis. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.